You know, one of the best ways to get other people involved in helping you out with the problem is to make it their problem as well. Like, for instance, immigration in the United States. It used to be the problem of people in Texas. But the moment they started busing some of those people to Martha's Vineyard, all of a sudden there were talks about fixing this issue. The moment they started busing people to New York, to Chicago, to other sanctuary cities, you have the mayors in those places started to talk like Donald Trump. So it is a very effective tactic. It's basically the type of people that are not in my backyard become your allies the moment you make the problem in their backyard. Now, unfortunately, in every single society, you have some people which claim to be intelligent, but unfortunately their actions show anything but. And these people happen to be activists for various causes. The most common one is environmentalist in nature. And they believe that by blocking the roads, by preventing you and your mother from going to their jobs or to the hospital, they're making their problem, which is the environment, they're making that to be yours. But in reality, they're not doing anything of the sort. Your problem isn't the environment. It's not Mother Gaia. It is not nature that it is preventing you from getting to your job or going to the hospital. No, it is the activists. Like, they are becoming the problem themselves, right? And when these people get punished, whether through vigilantism or the police arrives and manhandles them, or apparently now I have heard some environmentalists claim that the police is abducting them during the middle of the night. But what seems to be happening is they just have, like, their names on arrest warrants. When that happens, they cry foul, and they do not understand why the people don't side with them. In fact, the people encourage that more such actions happen to them, right? So they do not understand why the public doesn't like them, because the wisdom that they're running on is pretty sound. It's like, well, I'm making my problem, the environment, I'm making it yours. Right? The wisdom is sound, so it should work, but for some reason, instead of people sympathizing with them, they're encouraging the cops to arrest them harder. So the reality is very simple, right? Like, their problem, whether they're environmentalists, whether they're PETA, or whether they're protesting, right-wingers, or whatever, their problem isn't with the populace, right? It's not with the average citizen. Their problem, allegedly, is with the government. So if you go and you protest the government, then you may actually have people that support you. But when you're protesting the public, then you're going to have people that will be antagonistic towards you. It's not fucking rocket science. And usually they will say, well, yeah, but it's my right to protest. It's my right to my right to protest. So yeah, but what about my right of freedom of movement? Is that not also a human right? Like, should I not be able to go to the veterinarian if my cat is sick, rather than have, like, a couple of chuckleheads blocking the road? Like, that is the question. And it appears that the Argentinian president has finally found an answer to this question, right? Because the tactic that they're doing, I think, is like they're trying to be as obnoxious as possible, so they get arrested, and then they say, oh my god, fascismus, oh, look at the fascist, oh, he is Benito Mussolini's child, he is evil governor, right? So yeah, you can't really crack down on them too hard, because then you will have the European Union, you will have, like, human rights organizations being horrified, and they'll see, oh my god, look, Argentina is cracking down on these innocent protesters, their human rights are being trampled, oh, let's put sanctions, right? Like, this is the tactic that they actually are trying to do. I don't know if the people on the ground realize how they're being played, but basically, like, the intelligentsia, this is what they're hoping to achieve. It's like, let's have, like, a couple of chuckleheads block the streets in Argentina. The government is going to crack down on them in order to free the roads. And when that happens, we say, oh my god, like, look at the human rights violation. But the Argentinian president seems to have a different solution for this. One that is quite amazing. Cut their welfare. Like, it's not a human right to have welfare. Yeah, sure, it is your human right to protest, but the government doesn't have to give you welfare, right? I mean, the very fact that Argentina even has a welfare program is bewildering to me. Like, a nation that's as poor as Argentina shouldn't even afford such a luxury. Like usually, a nation should invest all the money that it has in order to grow economically, and when you actually become prosperous and you actually are overflowing, then you may even consider such programs, which, by the way, in most situations, I don't even agree with. Like, how is it equitable? How is it normal that the government takes money away from me that I could give to my wife and child, to my friends and family, and I have to now give that money to a stranger? I don't know that guy. So if I live a responsible life and I say, okay, well, maybe I'll have just one child, or I won't have that many, I won't smoke, I won't drink alcohol, because I don't want to get sick, because I don't have money for hospitals. So I'm living a very economically oriented lifestyle, and I'm calculating my decisions, and then the government comes up and takes the money that I am saving for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my neighborhood, and it's taking that money and is giving it to people who are irresponsible. It's giving it to someone that's a chronic drinker. It's giving it to someone that's a chronic smoker, and they're racking up the hospital bills, maybe to a person that lives a lifestyle where they suffer from morbid obesity and diabetes, so now they require money for that. So like, basically, if I want to live a life where I don't have to deal with that because I'm afraid that I will have to go to a doctor, like, my decision is not being rewarded. My decision is being punishment, and the person that does want to live a life where they don't care about these aspects, they're being rewarded. So yeah, it's horrible. It is. So basically, like, the people who are protesting against the government in Argentina right now, well, maybe now they can understand why it's bad to rely on the government. Like, maybe now they understand why it isn't a good thing to have a life where the government can just cut down your welfare. See, if you have a job and you're able to sustain yourself, you don't give a shit if the government cuts your welfare program, because you're like, well, I don't need the government anyway. Like, I can take care of myself. But if you are to the point where you're reliant on the government and you're expecting handouts and stuff, well, yeah, I mean, it's probably a traumatizing issue, but it's not a human rights issue. So I do agree with what the Afuera president is doing here, Mr. Javier Milei. Excellent solution to the problem. I love the fact how there are solutions for so many problems, isn't it? Right? Like, when it's happening in the West, like some chuckleheads block roads and stuff. Oh, no one knows what to do. No one is like, oh, well, what can we do? Oh, they're destroying a historical painting. Well, like, what can there be done? We can't do anything about it. It's just like, it's like the rain, it comes and you just use an umbrella, but you can't stop the rain. They can't stop people from posting the N-word on Twitter. Like, that is something that can be handled within less than 24 hours. Like, all that bad content on social media can go away. But some random twats that prevent people from getting to their jobs, they don't have a solution for it. Well, it seems that President Javier Milei does have a solution. So there were people that were protesting against him winning the elections. And he's basically saying, well, if you are protesting that, then I'm not going to give you welfare. Which, in my opinion, he shouldn't give welfare at all. I mean, Argentina is not a country that can even afford welfare. Like, allow the people to use the money that they make so they can reinvest in their businesses and get your fucking economy started. But anyway, right, let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.